Making butter from scratch is a time-honored tradition that has gotten much easier with modern technology. With all the additives and hidden ingredients in our food these days, it's hard to trust what we're getting at the grocery store. Making butter from scratch in your own kitchen is simple and can be easily woven into your weekly routine. Start with farm fresh milk and skim the cream from the top. If you don't have access to raw milk or you prefer pasteurized dairy, any heavy whipping cream will work. It's the cream or fat from the milk that makes the butter. Ladle the cream into the bowl of a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer for this, a glass jar with a lid, a wire whisk, or anything that can beat the butter. A stand mixer or a hand mixer will make it much easier, but no matter what you have access to, you can make butter at home. Once you've poured your heavy cream in the bowl, add the wire whisk attachment and begin mixing on a medium-low speed, while also covering the mixer with a towel. This is important because once the fat separates from the liquid, it will leave a giant mess all over your kitchen if you do not have it covered tightly. Continue mixing, gradually increasing the speed. The cream will pass into the whipped cream stage first. Feel free to take a sample at this point and reward your efforts. Fresh whipped cream is delicious. After the whipped cream stage, it will begin to look curdled, like a buttery cottage cheese. It's important to note that it can remain in this stage or the whipped cream stage for longer than expected, especially if you're using fresh cream. Store-bought cream usually passes each stage very quickly. No matter what, keep mixing, it will pass to the butter stage. The butter is ready when it separates from the buttermilk. You will have a solid mass or several clumpy masses of butter surrounded by a pool of buttermilk. Do not stop mixing until the butter comes together. Next, squeeze as much of the buttermilk from the butter as you can and rinse the butter in cold water before squeezing again. It's really important to get as much buttermilk out as possible so that your butter will last longer. Too much buttermilk can make the butter go rancid. I find that even with a little buttermilk left in, if it's refrigerated, it does just fine. We consume a lot of butter in our house, so it's definitely not sitting around for weeks. Press the butter in a tea towel, paper towel, or cheesecloth to remove any excess moisture. Now you're ready to measure and store. I use a half-cup measuring cup, which is the amount in 1 stick of butter from the store. This makes it easy to grab butter for recipes, but you can measure and shape it any way you like. I simply scrape it out of the measuring cup, form it into a uniform disc, and wrap in parchment paper. You can store your butter in the fridge or on the counter. We do both. On this particular day, I had a fresh loaf of sourdough bread in the oven, and I used what little butter we had left to glaze the top. There is nothing like fresh bread and homemade butter to make any day better. I hope you enjoyed this video. No matter where you live or what your lifestyle is like, Making basics like butter from scratch is doable and a great way to add something special and healthy to your family's diet.